today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and for the 350th time, you are watching a Comic Hero show. Now kick that intro! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Brain Injury Awareness Month. Now, traumatic brain injury, or TBI as it's commonly called, is a disruption in the normal function of a brain that can be caused by a bump, blow, or a jolt to the head, or any other form of penetrating head injury. An object that goes through our brain tissue, such as a bullet or a broken piece of skull, can also cause TBIs. Now, everyone is at risk for a TBI, but especially if it's a child or an older adult. The effects of TBI vary in terms of the severity. Now, while recovery and rehabilitation are possible, most folks with TBIs find themselves either adjusting or adapting to new lives. Now, here in America, there are 200,000 cases per year. But out of those 200,000 cases, 150 of them result in death. And this is a brain injury awareness Comic Hero team. Now, some people believe that the colors for, or the color rather, for Brain Injury Awareness Month is blue. They believe it's blue. Some believe it's green. So I decided to combine both of them. This is pretty much a navy shirt with green letters. Now, I personally know some folks who are currently living with TBIs. And I know the family of folks. I know some folks that have family members, or a family member rather, that live with TBI. And so, if you're watching this and you're living with a TBI, or if you're watching this and you're a family member or know someone who has a TBI, this episode is for y'all. Now, as I said at the beginning, this is also the 350th episode, and I gave y'all the opportunity on social media and on YouTube to like or love or leave comments by the picture of a cup just like this one, and because y'all done that, each and every one of y'all have been entered in a drawing for a free cup, and I'm drawing 5 names, but that's at the end of the show. Right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked, true or false, Cisco Ramone was originally created for the Flash TV series that currently airs on the CW. Well, the correct answer is false. Cisco was actually created as a superhero in 1984 by the name of Vibe, and he was created by Chuck Patton and Jerry Conway and made his debut in Justice League Annual number 4 of that year. Now, his powers were pretty much the same as they are in the TV series. It was molecular and seismic vibrations. And unfortunately, he didn't really last very long because Darkseid ended up killing him. And then they ended up bringing him back during the New 52, and it was a member of the Justice League of America team, but was discontinued after about 10 issues. But in 2014, when the Flash was created, the creators of the TV show, Andrew Kressberg and Jeff Johns, had seen a lot of potential in the character, so they decided to make him a member of Team Flash. Well, the correct answer is false, and 9 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their name's been in a drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Red Hank from Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. So congratulations, Red. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is both a DC and a Marvel question. What is the name of the limited comics imprint in which DC and Marvel merged their characters into new ones? Now, here's some hints. Now, the first hint is that the name of this limited imprint is also a word that means combination or mixture. And then the second hint, the name of this imprint is also the name of a famous comic book store and coffee house in Philadelphia. Everyone who answers correctly will be in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Now, the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown segment is usually reserved for fans to make requests. But every once in a while, I like to come out with one, and this one features a member of the Justice League going up against a member of the Squadron Supreme. Representing DC, we have the Rayner Green Lantern. And representing Marvel, we have Dr. Spectrum. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's the Rayner Green Lantern versus Dr. Spectrum. The Rayner Green Lantern, like most Green Lanterns, possesses generation of heart-like constructs, force fields, space travel, flight, and real-life translation of all languages. Dr. Spectrum possesses flight, energy projection and manipulation, the ability to survive in space, and intangibility. Who would win? Dr. Spectrum would have Kyle on the ropes throughout a majority of this fight. By the way, this entire fight takes place in space. Kyle would use his ring to create heart-like constructs to fight Dr. Spectrum, but the latter would use his intangibility to escape them and energy blast to destroy them. He then begins to deliver bruising punches and kicks to Kyle. Kyle understands that to defeat him is to become the White Lantern, so he does. Kyle then absorbs the Spectrum in Dr. Spectrum's possession until it's pitch black, delivers a vicious heart punch to Dr. Spectrum, and encases him in an impenetrable force field. White Lantern wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed that fight, and if y'all have any requests for any, please make them. Not anything too outrageous, not anything too stupid, just if you want, it could be a comic book character versus a video game character. I'm going to limit it to that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There have been folks that have done that in the past, and I will gladly accept those requests. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, there are three things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and here's the first. Now, last night, I finally gotten around to watching the very first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+. Now, I'm not going to give away anything that has happened on the show. However, I will say that the acting, the casting, the music, and the special effects were totally on par with each other. And for those of y'all that haven't seen it, get ready for a thrill ride. And you're going, and let me tell you this, you're definitely going to believe at first that it's a movie, but it's not a movie. Now, it has the feel of a movie in terms of pretty much everything, but it's not a movie. It's pretty much a 1 hour show. So I believe it's great. Now, unfortunately, it's only going to last 6 episodes, but after seeing the first episode, it makes me thirsty for the next 5. So, yeah. Alright, now the second thing is that it's been announced or rumored, and I hope the rumors are false about this, that DC is considering moving or considering bumping up their monthly books to $6. No, I don't agree with that. Now, annuals at $6 maybe. One shots at $6 for sure, but not monthly books. Now, granted, the artwork or the way that the artists are doing the artwork is so much more advanced. It's pretty much digital now. I mean, it's not, pen to paper and then and then a colorist doing all the work. I mean, there's just so much more. It's so much more advanced. But I still don't believe that the customers have to suffer for it. Now, I've spoken to some folks about this, and some of them are considering either cutting down on some of the DC books that they buy, or not buying any at all. And honestly, if this does happen, and I hope it doesn't, I may just follow suit. Now, everyone who knows me knows I love me some DC. From Superman to Teen Titans, from Wonder Woman to Batman, to Green Lantern to The Flash, to Aquaman to Cyborg, what have you. I love DC. And it seems like this is like the second worst decision they've made in the last year. The first worst decision, honestly, was Future State, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I just think it's a very bad decision. Now, when I was growing up, comics used to cost was under $1. Comics were always under $1, but then as I became a teenager, they were in the dollar range. And there was one book that the first comic book that I bought with my own money was $1.25. And when I got into college, they started creeping up in the $2 range, and then most recently in the $3 and the $4 range. Now DC needs to they need to be a lot more considerate towards their consumers. I mean, and they need to be considerate towards their consumers and not themselves. But anyway, I think it's a bad decision. All right, now the third and final thing that I'm going to talk about is Black Widow. Now, it's been bumped down again. The release date has been bumped down, rather, to July 22nd. Now, I'm not upset about that. What I'm upset about is that it's going to be in theaters, and it's also going to be on Disney+, but they're charging customers for watching the movie. Now, I don't believe that we should have to charge. Now, as many times they bumped it down, I don't believe we even I don't think we should even have to pay for it. I mean, we're already paying a month for Disney Plus. Why should we have to pay extra for the movie? I mean, especially since we've had to wait almost a year for it to come out. I mean, this has me angry. This has a lot of other moviegoers angry. I just believe that if it's going to be on Disney Plus, then they shouldn't charge customers for seeing the movie. They should just let us watch it and give us the option of going out to see it in theaters, which I still don't believe is safe because of the pandemic, or going out or just watching it in the comfort of home free of charge. Honestly, I prefer the latter. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
First up is Captain Marvel number 27. Catwoman number 29. Champions number 5. Iron Man number 7. Really excited about this one. Justice League number 59. Sword number 4. This is a book that I talked about on an episode of the show on the Comically Speaking segment. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 114. Raza and Tok'ra. And Bebop and Rocksteady finally love the way this book is written and drawn. Thor number 13. And finally, X-Force number 18. Alright, that's 9, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 10,533. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What was the name of the limited imprint in which DC and Marvel Comics merged their characters into new ones? Now, here's some hints. Now, the first hint is that the name of this imprint is also a word that means combination or mixture. And the second hint is that the name of this imprint is also the name of a famous comic book store and coffee house in Philadelphia. And here's one hint that I left out. In this imprint were characters like Super Soldier, Iron Lantern, and Spider-Boy. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Red Hank from Fayetteville, Pennsylvania, who won a free tee on this week's episode. All right, now I'm going to draw 5 names. And each name that I draw wins a free Comic Hero Cup. So that drawing is about to start. So the first person who wins a free Comic Hero Cup is Sharon Hart from Swartz, Louisiana. So congratulations, Sharon. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right, 1 down and 4 to go. The second person who wins a free Comic Hero Cup on this episode is Shane Zimmer from West Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Shane. You win yourself a free Comic Hero Cup. All right, 2 down and 3 to go. All right, and the third person is Rob Heisler from Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Rob. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Wow, this is Northeast Louisiana. All right, 3 down and 2 to go. And the fourth person is Michael England from Vancouver, British Columbia. So congratulations, Michael. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right, last one. Here we go. So the fifth person who wins a free Comic Hero Cup is Mike Hart from Swartz, Louisiana. So congratulations, Mike. You win yourself a free Comic Hero Cup. All right. I want to thank everyone who has liked and loved these cups. I wish I could give cups to each and every one of y'all, but I only want to draw 5 names. And I also want to thank y'all for watching this show. I mean, 350 episodes. I'm ready to do 350 more. I mean, I love doing this. I love sharing my love for comics and life, and also showing it. And then also, you know, this show is also an outreach. I mean, you see, you watch every episode. You know, a lot of times I'm raising awareness of something, and that's only because, you know, the only thing that's gonna get us through this thing called life is love. You know, we have to show love to people, whether we know them or not, and that's pretty much my aim. Not just with doing the show, but my everyday life. And I'm also encouraging y'all to do the same. And also, you know, we're still in a pandemic, and a lot of states are pretty much broadening the age range on getting vaccines. So if you take it from somebody who was fully vaccinated, I think you'll really benefit from getting the vaccine. I mean, it's free; it won't cost you anything. May have a few minor side effects, but it's nothing major. It's nothing debilitating. You're not going to end up going to the hospital or dying. It's really beneficial. I mean, the faster we can get everyone vaccinated, the faster we can be done with this temporary life that we're living, where we're having to, practice social distancing, where we're having to wear a mask. where a lot of things that a lot of things that we take for granted, a lot of things that we take for granted. It's been a year, and I feel, I don't know about y'all, but all the things I took for granted, I wish I hadn't. And but just take that into consideration. I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do. I'm just encouraging y'all, that getting this vaccine is the right thing to do. And then also to all the folks that are living with traumatic brain injuries, just keep on fighting, keep on striving, keep on living. I know that the way that I know things are, I can only imagine how things hard are. I can only imagine. But just don't give up. Don't give up on those that try to help you, and most importantly, don't give up on yourselves. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 351. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.